So check this out. Mother Nature is wonderful. Weeds take the opportunity to grow. What's growing up here? How those Franklin dwarf tomatoes doing? As you can see, they've 5 or 6 inches in height. Some are only 3 inches, 4 inches. So yeah, they're getting some height on them. The other plants are doing well. It's our honeydew melons. Check on that Detroit beet. Another one came up right there. And other things are growing. So yeah, chives. We made 2 more buckets. But we'll plant into those soon. Using them for transplants to get things out of pots. Again, just an update on the corn. Yeah, not growing so well in the shade. These are about 5 or 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the northern side of the property. Yeah, those other corn, yeah, pretty stunted, pretty small. And out over here on that side of the goat fence, I'm going to make some corn rows. The beets. Slow growing. I mean, they're everywhere in here. You know, this is the rain. The rain washed all the soil on top of this, buried a lot of the beets. You can see that soil patching in, and then running out and off. Take a look at the carrots. Carrots are about 3 inches in height now. So they're doing okay. This next row is another type of carrot that's in there with the clover. Not seeing too many. It was an older package. It's probably about 6 or 7 in there. That's fine. And this next row, there's a leek coming up. That's a leek. This is another leek coming up. Another one. And that's another leek coming up. I think I did, yeah, I planted beets in here. So yeah, those little red leaves, those are beets. This is where we put the onions. Some rows are doing better than others. This is the stuff we direct sowed. It is doing extremely well. This is the row that we had indoors growing under the lights that got transplanted from soaking in water. Yeah, not so good. So that method does not work. Some of them are coming up. You can see they're not like these. You know, it's a lot different. That was a direct sow when we first did the 3 rows. And that row's coming up. And this is the 3rd row that was direct sown in, and these onion bulbs and these onion sets are doing much better. The row in between, you know, has much for wanting. Some of them just rotted out. So don't soak your onions in water. I was trying to get the roots to propagate. We did plant bell peppers along the inner fence line here in this row. I marked it with a rock. There's nothing. There is absolutely no peppers coming up whatsoever. So yeah, nothing germinated. Absolute 0 germination. Maybe it will. but my hopes aren't high on that. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Not a single pepper plant down the row, nothing. But again, we got dill. It's a whole forest of dill. I was out here yesterday. Is there frogs underneath here? I gotta be careful. Nope. But the frogs will hide in here. It rains out, the gorilla cart catches water. I get about 25 gallons in there at a time. I just use that for watering the garden. Check on the rain barrel. And then we'll wrap this up. This is not the official rain barrel, it's just for the animals and for the garden. Yeah, it's a 50-gallon barrel. I've got about 40 gallons of water in there. So that's doing okay. The problem is if I leave this for too long, what happens is the mosquitoes will get in there. So do I put the fish in there to eat them? I could do that. But anything that grows near the solar panel, that can affect. It's going to come out too. Can I touch that? What is that? Yeah, that can come out. So is the soil being improved? Look at that. Look under the solar panels. Good stuff. That's a nice find. So yeah, it's washing down. This is just that topsoil. It just washes down and it collects in certain areas. Seems to be collecting underneath the solar panels. That's good to know. I can use that for pots. Comes out real easy. Another toad. Told you, you need to be careful. These guys are everywhere. Whatever. As long as he's not underfoot. Sorry, buddy. It's got 5 leaves. It's got a central, it's got 2, and then 2 smaller in the back. But that's that leaf shape. And it's full of thorns. And under the leaves there are thorns as well. Does anyone know what this is? And don't say it's poison ivy, because it's leaves of 3. So it's not. What is this? It's not a briar. Could be a wild berry plant of some sort. Again, I'm not pulling these until they mature. I want to know what these are. And I have a handful of them that have established themselves. I mean, if I've got wild grapes growing, you know, that there can be a blackberry or raspberry or some sort of berry. We're hoping. This is Tennessee. I mean, it can happen. My problem is this is how I'm dressed. So if I walk by one of those plants and I kick into it as I drag by, it just rips my shins up. Need to ID this plant as well. So if anyone knows, leave a comment down below. Again, we're in Tennessee. I've got a bunch of them growing. They're all throughout the yard. There's even one right out there. Here is a prime example of having low light in our house. Look how leggy these are. These are a cantaloupe. I don't know if they're going to make it. So yeah, those look like leeks coming up. There's that basil plant. It's got another set of leaves on it. Struggling to survive out here in the shade. I don't water much out here. This is the leaf mold bed. And those are all leeks back there. Kind of left this to its own devices. So the other day, after it rained out, I did walk through the forest looking for mushrooms. Found a few, nothing that I recognize as being an edible food source. But I check every 2 days. We've also been making a fair amount of solar power, but we use that up with the big AC during the day. So if we can make 15 to 20 kilowatts, and then the battery at night time's at like 35%. And then we'll just put on eco mode and just kind of keep it slightly cool in there. As the summer progresses, we'll have sunshine from like 6 o'clock in the morning all the way till 9:15 at night. Sunshine, producing power that long, yeah. So we're waiting for those days. But yeah, thanks for joining us here at the WickerShire project. Hope you liked the little garden update. Things are growing here. We've had a ton of rain, and everything's doing well. So we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. What's going on with this camera?